If you look forlornly at the crowd enough, they may shout out some answers for you. Or alternatively, they'll look blankly and go, "You're on your own, mate."
That's probably going to be the case on this one.
Right. So which three flavours of Sonic Crisps were available in 1993?
Right, if it's not his right eye, which of his eyes did he wink with?
It's a tricky one. I think it's his left one, but I'm going to go with his left.
Left is the correct answer. What's 75 there then?
How are we doing with time? We're doing great. Right, so we're already. Have we got fact check over there already? Right, we have our last special stage question for round one, which will bring this to a close. So, after all was said and done with the first Sonic off, Jalone walked away with the trophy, and then mysteriously...
Sonic fan called Dylan Cecil, who unfortunately lost his life in the area, and he was actually sort of or the BARB was instrumental in trying to sort of his search, if you like. So they're a really sort of worthwhile local charity. And what we're actually auctioning off is this, which is an original page drawn by Mr. Richard Nelson.
We'll probably come back.
Hello, I'm Deborah Tate. I was assistant editor and then editor total for about 7 years.
Richard Ellison, a true majority of the Sonic strips, I think, in it, and a couple of Knuckles and Captain Plunderer and odd things like that as well.
Carl Flint. I did a lot of covers and Tails strips and Amy strips for Sonic the Comic. Thank you.
Hey.
Okay, well, Sonic the Comic was a long time ago now. We really decided it wasn't worth renewing it based on the current sales. Is that fair?
Because there was a stage in the comic's life where story started to be reprinted, didn't there? So
that's what I was just going to mention. There's a policy at Fleetway, wasn't there, Deb, where every 5 years or so they try and start to reprint stories in long-running titles because they assume the audience would be like a whole new audience every 5 as they grew up. But the thing with because it was such an engaging character and the comic was so good,
people stayed with it, didn't they?
People stayed with it, and obviously, you know, the audiences started to drop off as the reprints started to. Well, basically, it was the whole comic in the end, wasn't it? So,
I mean, that would be a bit more straightforward. If the comic didn't follow the model, it wasn't meant to last as long as it did. People in charge weren't sure what was going on. And at some point they kept brought in reprints because they thought they should try and save money. I think that was the driver. But bringing reprints means that you upset your regular audience, your loyal fans. And they think, I'm not paying this much for things I've already bought. And so it starts to wind down a bit. And it just came to a natural end, you know, eventually. It's a shame, it could have been handled differently, possibly, but it wasn't, and it ran out. It wouldn't have still been running now, there's no way it would have survived until today.
I've still got an idea for it.
You've still got ideas?
That'll be your first one then.
Are you at liberty to tell us what that idea is?
It's my second one, mate. You stole my first one.
Are you at liberty to tell us what this idea is, or are you worried that if people might steal it?
I obviously just nailed that off. I haven't got an idea, have I?
The thing about the comic which we probably loved the most was we were all friends on the comic, had fun with each other. Richard and I spent hours on the phone talking about ideas, and with Deborah as well. I mean, Deborah's phone bill must have been through the roof in the office. You told off. Tell the story.
My phone bills were the highest in the company because I used to spend so long on the phone, and not to Ferran because he was in Barcelona, and you couldn't dial outside of the UK.
That's a very interesting point, actually, because of course, Ferran, you are based in Barcelona, aren't you? Of course, back in the
only one because there is text and characters. So the trick analogy is to start with the balloons. You have the text and then write the characters. People, a lot of people, Richard and all the text, starts directly on the paper. In this we used to work on tracing people. You know, it's transparent and allows you to.
Your next one I had was like I had a completely blank screen here. You can still interact with it if you get past not being able to see anything. What's wrong with progress video?
Well, I think this drawing
I did still know how to get into private chats without looking at
I've got a next time.
You don't rip it up, keep it, and then
keep it and then rip it up after a
no, look at it again and after and then.
Yeah, I'd be like, yeah, this looks shit.
No.
I will, I'd be like, yeah, this is terrible.
You keep it, man, because when you miss a better drawing,
yeah, that sort of thing.
still resembles a Sonic character. Soldering problem.
It's pretty cool. named Phil Muro, and I met him during one of my dopey radio syndication jobs, which had very little to do with voice acting, but still, he was a fan. Phil was a swell guy. Phil also had a family history of ALS, and during the couple of years that I had known him, before his untimely demise, he came down with ALS, and I watched firsthand as he lost the ability to move around and move his limbs, and ultimately to speak and feed himself and take care of himself. Because what ALS does is it takes your...
Okay, so who would like cosplayer number 1 to win? Who would like cosplayer group number 2 to win? And what about cosplayer number 3?